Hey guys, welcome to video number 3 in the series. So this is talking about how to design and execute an effective lead generation strategy to attract your ideal clients for your marketing agency. So the big problem we've been tackling in this series is most marketers struggle to attract the attention of their ideal prospects. They don't have a system in their business to systematically heat those prospects up, getting them to know, like, and trust them, view them as a provider of choice, ultimately turning prospects into leads, leads into hot leads, and hot leads into discovery calls where they have a fit, no fit conversation with those prospects and ultimately convert them into high-paying clients. So that's what this series has been about, and we've gone through video number 1 and video number 2. If you haven't watched those yet, I encourage you to hit pause on this, go back, watch video number 1 and video number 2, because it really builds on itself. It is the foundation, and if you don't have that foundation, this video standalone will not add the value that you need. You won't be able to put this to use in your system. So what I suggest you do is hit pause, go back, watch video number 1 and video number 2. If you already have, great. I'm glad you're still with me. And I want to tell you a little bit about a program I'm going to be launching. For those of you here just for the free content, don't worry, I'm going to get to that in just a moment. I just want to share a little bit about what I'm going to be opening up in the next video. So in the next video, I'm going to tell you about the program that I've spent the last year and a half working on. Ultimately working with case studies and one-on-one clients to pull together a training to actually show you how to deploy this rapid lead generation system in your business. So we're going to have a number of things available to you in this training that I'm really excited to launch. First and foremost, anyone that jumps into the program is going to be partnered up with an accountability partner. So you and somebody else that is in the program will be matched up so that you have somebody holding you accountable that you are going through the process with. Number 2, there's going to be Q&A where any question that you ask, I'm going to hop on, create a video, answer your question directly so you'll never be left alone. Unlike in other trainings where you buy the program and you're left to your own devices to try to figure out what is going on, this program is designed as an implementation program. And at any point, if you have any questions, I want you to ask them so that I can create a video answering that question. We're going to create a library of FAQs, or frequently asked questions, where everything gets answered and everybody benefits from the experience of making the program that much better. Third thing that I'm going to be doing that I really am excited to do is I have built a team of outsourcers that have helped me with all of the clients that I've worked with as well as in my business, and I'm going to make those available to the people that have jumped in. So I've already heard comments and I've already talked to a number of you. I know a number of you are looking forward to jumping into this program. I'm super excited to open it tomorrow. I'm going to get the next video out to you in the next day or two, and when you get that video, you'll hear more about what this program has to do. And what I want to do now is just get into the free training, because I know that some of you are here just for that, and I want to deliver on what I promised, which is closing the loop on how you're going to be able to attract and convert those ideal prospects for your business. Okay, so just to review where we are. In video number 1, we covered who is your ideal prospect. We talked about the 3 questions that you really need to think about. Who do you want to work with? Who can you add value to? And who is willing and able to pay you what you're worth, right? And so these are the 3 questions you have to be able to answer. Number 4 is, where do they congregate online? You have to be able to find them. We're not looking for left-handed CEOs with kids named Matt. We need to find them somewhere online. So as soon as we identify where they congregate and we answer those 3 questions, we have your ideal prospect. And then we run into problem or challenge number 2, which is grabbing their attention. We went through how to grab their attention and how to build an unfair advantage in terms of penetrating the market, grabbing attention. We talked about that in terms of the Locksmith plugin, but really the point to take away there was identify frustrations, challenges that your ideal prospects have, solve one of them that doesn't relate to your core service so that you can differentiate yourself in the market. Then we hopped into that know, like, and trust in video number 2, along with how to become a provider of choice. And we talked about the strategy we want to use. We don't want to go tactical and pitch our service. We want to go strategic and pixel your ideal prospects, because we know that we're going to heat them up over time. We know that we want to be able to put value content in front of them so that they get to know, like, and trust you and view you as a provider of choice. All right, so the next challenge that we're going to run into, if we think of this in terms of that Lego box and we flip it over, the next two challenges or bags that are going to fall out are we need to build your conversion system and we need to pre-frame people coming onto that discovery call. So the conversion system is how to take prospects, convert them into leads and leads into hot leads, ultimately pushing them onto that discovery call, and then a framework for that discovery call so that people come in viewing you as, that provider of choice or that authority, that expert who they're willing and able to pay. All right, so let's continue on here. So when I had 11 clients and I was trying to scale up my business, I remember the euphoria that would happen when a lead would come in, right? So it's like when you don't have enough leads coming into your business and you get either a phone call message or a email message from a prospect that either downloaded a lead magnet and decided they want to have a phone call with you, that moment of excitement, I don't know if it's like this for you, but for me, I was visualizing the extra money that it would generate for my business, the growth that it was going to allow me to have to help me hit my goals. And I'd get super excited. Unfortunately, what would quickly happen when I got on the phone call is I'd realize that they didn't know who I was, right? They hardly remembered my name or my company's name. I was one of 3 forms they filled out that day and tell me what it is that I can do for them. And it really was deflating, right? And it was frustrating because if, you come in with this excitement and then you realize that this is them basically coming to you to extract as much information as possible and to see how much you're going to be willing to do for them for how little. And that was the situation that I found myself in when I was just really developing this process. And I remember feeling that frustration and thinking like, there's got to be a better way, because this is really how you attract the pain in the ass clients. And what that was for me was if I decided to give them the deal and, give them that low fee, they'd end up being that client that would want to micromanage the process. Tell me how to do the search engine optimization. Tell me what they wanted me to do as if I was, their employee and they were the director of what was going to happen. And then ultimately, when it didn't materialize the way they thought it should, I was the person they would blame for that process. And that to me is exactly the definition of a pain in the ass client. And very often they were the people who were, hey, I want you to help me create $250,000 a month and I'm willing to pay you $400. I don't want that for you. That's the exact opposite of what I want. I want you to work with the type of people who are going to value you, be willing to pay you what you're worth so that you can do your best work for them. All right, so let's continue on with this. So let's start with the end in mind. Again, Stephen Covey, this is how I like to frame everything up. So in this particular step, the objective is we are working on your conversion system. This is moving your prospects to leads and your leads ultimately into hot leads, and then those hot leads ultimately onto a discovery call so that you can have them join you on that call and give you the framework so that you can do that fit versus no fit call where you only work with people who value you, view you as an expert, are willing and able to pay you what you're worth. You have enough of them going through your system that you never feel like you have to take in one of those pain in the ass clients. All right, so let's jump into the content here. And so we talked about in previous video, you're going to pixel people so that you can create this audience where you're always able to drip out your new content to them. This is value content you're going to create. And this value content is really there to entertain, to excite, to educate, and to inform. And really what I want to explain to you here is we're going to put out content maybe once every 2 weeks. This piece of content is there to add value. And that's the only goal of the content. We want to train your audience of ideal prospects that when they click on one of your ads, they're going to land on a piece of content that is designed to add value to them and their life in some way, shape, or form as a standalone piece of content. Because we need to understand that while only 3% of the market at any given time is looking to buy, we know that within your ideal prospect mix, over the next 12 months, a lot of those people are going to be activated and be part of that 3%. It may be this month, it may be next month, it may be the month after, but over time, what's going to happen is everybody is going to actively be looking for your service. And so what we are doing here is we are taking the long game. We are making sure that over a period of time, they're getting to know, like, and trust you. And in the process, we're also heating them up, because when they become active buyers, they're already going to view you as that provider of choice. But I need you to understand that people come in at different temperatures, right? Could be hot, warm, or cold. Somebody coming in hot has familiarity with your brand. They've consumed a lot of your content. They've watched some of your videos. Maybe they've interacted with you with comments. They are hot. They are very likely to want to do business with you. Someone who's warm is familiar with your brand. They've probably consumed some of your content, maybe downloaded something from your site, but they're not ready at the point to actually buy. And cold traffic is somebody who has just clicked on your ad. They've seen your first piece of content. They're not really sure who you are. And so the understanding that we have to have is, because there's these three temperatures of traffic, we need to have conversion assets that are going to convert cold to warm and warm to hot. And we need to think about that, again, starting from the end in mind. How are we going to convert people through these stages? All right, so let's continue on. So the way you want to visualize this is, as people come in, they're in this less desirable state, right? They have some problem that they want to get to some solution, right? And the way I like to think about this is, they are here in this less desired state, and they're trying to get to this future state, this aspirational state. You know, for a lot of business owners, maybe that's growth, maybe that's more clients, maybe that's more profit, maybe that's doubling their business, but there's a future state, and our services are really designed as the vehicle to take them from point A to point B. But before we can take them from point A to point B, we have to convince them that we're the vehicle to deliver that for them. And in order for that to happen, they need to go through this marketing system. And so we need to have conversion assets at each stage. And so the way I like to think about this is, we take cold traffic and convert it to warm with a lead magnet. We take warm traffic and convert it to hot, usually using a video sales letter. And I'm going to show you how we do that in our process here. And we usually convert hot prospects either through a tripwire or a discovery call. And I'm going to give you examples of both in this presentation, just so you can see how we do this in our business. And of course, there's a lot going on here, but I just want you to be able to visualize what you need to have in your business in order to systematically move cold to warm, warm to hot, and you have a predictable way of doing it. Because if you don't have a system to do this automatically, then you end up in that cycle of manual marketing, where very often the business owner is having to move people through on a one-on-one process, and that is slow, inefficient, and ultimately it's not scalable. All right, so let's look at how most marketers work with this, right? And so again, it comes back to the way we are interacting. So we've decided we're going to take this strategic approach of retargeting. We're going to put content in front of your audience. Every 2 weeks, they're going to see a different piece of content that you create. And ultimately what's going to happen is, they're going to become familiar with you and your brand. Over time, relationships progress at the speed of the slower of the two parties, right? I'm sure we can all agree that you would be happy to sell them your core service today, but not all prospects are ready to buy your core service today. So the relationship moves forward at the pace of the business owner, and they're usually the slower of the two parties, because they're not ready to give you all their money today. Okay, so what ends up happening is, we need to give them that conversion asset within that value content, and that's the lead magnet. And that lead magnet is designed to give them that next set of value. So we give them the content, and then we say within the content, if you're interested in this greater piece of content, or this content upgrade, or this piece of value, or a piece of the process, you can download it here. Again, most of you have seen lead magnets. You may even have them. There are better ones and worse ones, but ultimately I would say most people are familiar with the concept of lead magnets, and it's going to push them to a landing page, ask for their name and their email. When they put it in, they're going to get added to your autoresponder. It's going to be sent out, and you're going to send them to a thank you page. And what I see most frequently, both on marketers' sites as well as on client sites, is a generic thank you page that says, thank you for downloading whatever the name of the lead magnet is. We'll get that out to you shortly. And then basically we push them away. And so this is the first opportunity for me to point out the big mistake that marketers are making. And this page is actually the dumbest thing you can do at this stage, because you've gone through all this effort, right? You've captured their attention. You've earned some trust. They've ultimately decided they want to take your upgrade. They go to the upgrade, they give you their name and email, and now they land on this page. And rather than inviting them to go to the next stage, and if you think about this from the objective, converting them through from cold to warm to hot, sending them away is about the last thing that you would want to do. And so the way that I describe this is, if I go into a suit store for a suit, they fit me for the suit, right? And then we'll equate that to the first piece of value. But as soon as they're done with that, they offer me a shirt and tie, right? And we'll call that the lead magnet. And so I say yeah to that shirt and tie. The next thing they're going to offer me is shoes, a belt, socks, another shirt and tie, another suit. It keeps going until I say I'm done. But for some reason, when marketers get online, they're willing to stop that sale right after they get the person's name and email, which doesn't make any sense. You want to continue that relationship going. You want to continue to offer them more value so that you can heat them up while they're ready to be heated up. All right, so let's look at what this would look like. So I'm going to give you two examples here. I'm going to give you one pushing to a discovery call and one pushing to a tripwire, just so you can visualize this, the steps that you need to deploy in your business. Again, this is really here just to show you what you should be doing. You should be able to take this and think about how it applies to your business, your service, and your core. But again, if you're interested, I'm going to give you the opportunity to give you a lot more value in the next video. So just stay with me here and let me show you what we do. So we do the same thing, the same process, right? We offer them value. Over time, they decide, okay, now we're ready to take a lead magnet. They take the lead magnet, they fill in their name, they go to this autoresponder, and now they land on a thank you video. And the thank you video script is really there to continue that engagement. So it's going to go something like, thank you for downloading the PDF. My team will get that out to you in 5 short minutes. In the meantime, right, and what you're kind of doing there is you're seeing that it's not going to arrive for 5 minutes. So in the meantime, they have 5 minutes to watch whatever it is you're going to present to them. And this is where you want to talk to them about a pain point they have in their business. Whatever it is that you sell, you want to talk to them about how your core service can help them go from where they are to where they want to be, or how you can help them solve a particular pain point they're aware of in their business. And this is what you want to cover on here. This is almost like a video education, talking about some pain point and ultimately from there pushing them to a discovery call, which I recommend you set up using your online calendar so that they can go from watching the video and hearing what you have to say and spending some time with you to an offer of moving to your calendar and booking a call. Again, we know that relationships progress at the pace of the slowest person. And so what's going to end up happening here is, if they watch this video and they're convinced that you're the person they want to talk to about their marketing, they have a choice of booking a call with you. They'll book that call with you if they've been heated up to the point where they're ready to speak to you and they view you in the right light. They come on, they see that your booking calendar is there, they pick the time, they pick it, and ultimately what ends up happening is an email gets sent out to them confirming that you're going to hop on that call and they're going to be ready to talk to you about their marketing. Alternatively, what we can do is look at it through another lens. And so this is another funnel that we run. It's the same concept. It starts from retargeting. We're going to send them to content. Here's an example of how we would do this with the actual content written in. Okay, so why reviews matter, and then how they influence consumers and where you can see them. So depending on what businesses you're talking about, this is all about selling a review funnel, right? And talking to your customer about why reviews matter, why they should have them, where their customers can review them, whether that's Google reviews, Facebook reviews, Yelp, whatever it is. And you're going to talk to them about that. Then you're going to offer them a lead magnet within there saying how to get your clients to give you reviews and where to direct them and give them a step-by-step guide to leave those reviews, right? So if somebody's interested in actually having reviews for their business, they may be interested in how to get more reviews or where to send their clients. Then you're going to send them to a thank you video that's going to talk to them about that whole review process. And ultimately, at the end of talking to them, you're going to tell them everything that would need to be involved in setting up a review funnel. And if they want, they can take you up on your done for you service. And then what you do is you tell them you can go and do this yourself. Or if you're interested, we have a done for you service. You can click here. They click, they get to the order sheet, they get to the thank you page. And ultimately what ends up happening is you're in a situation where you've sold them on a tripwire. They either check out or they jump on a call where you can walk them through what it is you're going to do for them. So that's really the process that you're going to use in order to position yourself as an expert specifically for this particular ideal customer. And It's important because all of your examples throughout each stage are going to be talking about their type of business, how to leverage whatever it is you're talking about so that they can get more of their clients reviewing and use that as social proof in order to sell more business. And again, all of this is pulled together to really position you as the provider of choice, right? The best choice for them in their market. And so that's a fundamental thing that we want to have happen, because before they get on that phone call with you, we really want them to view you as a provider of choice. And this whole concept of nurturing them over time and allowing them to activate themselves, right? So a percentage of people are in the market to buy marketing today, and the percentage will be next month, the percentage will be next month, but every month they're seeing your content and interacting with you. And ultimately what ends up happening is you start to own the position in their mind as the marketer of choice for their particular business. All right, so now that we know how to build a conversion system and ultimately move prospects to leads and leads to discovery calls and discovery calls, how to get them on pre-framed, and how we're going to move them from there to become a core service purchaser of your product, this is what we wanted to cover today. And so now what I want to do is talk to you about our next video. So again, I'm really excited. I've been getting messages and comments, but specifically some personal messages from people that are excited to jump into this program. I'm really excited to have people come on board. So tomorrow, or actually probably in the next few days, I'm going to release the next video where I'm going to be talking to you about how you can get into this program and use it to take your business to the next level. It's really designed as an implementation program. I've broken it into 3 steps. There's a certain amount of content that's going to teach you. Then there's actually the tactics where I give you the worksheets to fill in. I've actually taken the time to make 1 and 2 minute videos to actually show you how to fill in the templates so that you can walk through this process and get the results. We're benefiting not only from what I've done in my business, scaling from 11 to 80 clients, but also from working with over 100 marketers in case studies and one-on-one to put this to use to see what problems people encountered. We've taken all of the information and all of the vicarious learning that we've gotten, and we've put it into this program, packed it full of value, and now I'm excited to offer it kind of as a vehicle to take you from where you are to where you want to be at just an accelerated pace. It's really there to make sure that you break through this challenge, because we've taken the time to think about all of the obstacles that stop marketers from really creating this lead generation system. All right, so if you have any questions or comments, please drop them below. I'll make sure to answer any questions you have here. If you got some takeaway from this, please let me know what it is. Take 1 or 2 seconds. Just tell me what is the best thing you got from these 3 videos so that I know what is resonating with you. I would really appreciate it. And I look forward to talking to you in the next video. Like I said, I'm really excited to open this up and actually start to work with marketers in terms of scaling up their business. I'm going to make my phone, my email, my Facebook Messenger available to my clients. I'm 100% committed to their results. So if you're at all interested in hearing about how I can help you actually go from where you are to where you want to be, please check out that video when I release it in the next couple of days. And hopefully it's something that will work for you and your business and can help you go to that next level. Thanks a lot for taking the time to watch. I hope you got a ton of value from these 3 videos, and I'll see you in the next one.